Hi, this is the Donna Thorne special, and I'm Norma Jean Barros. Today we're talking about Mother's Day. Oh, that's Brittany Marie Barros. That's my daughter. But we're going to be talking about issues with mothers and daughters and healing breakthroughs that'll basically give us our start in mothering. Okay, we're going to introduce our panel right now. This is, would you like to say your name?
Hi, I'm Donna Thorne. And this is Brittany, yeah?
And who is that you're holding?
Brittany
Okay.
Marie Barros. Want to say something? Okay.
And what's your name? Okay, hold on. What's your name?
No. Lark.
Lark. That's a pretty name. And what's your name?
Michael.
Okay.
My name is Michael, and don't get goodbye.
Oh, you want to stay here. Okay. And what's your name?
My name
Michael.
is Stephanie.
Okay. And this is my son also, Michael, the second Barros. Okay, but today I would like to ask some really serious questions, like about communication between mothers and daughters. Would anyone like to say anything about that?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I think communication is a great thing. It's what keeps family members together.
Uh-huh.
Because you have to be able to communicate with one another
Right.
in order to have an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about communication?
Communication's good, but the thing is that you have to listen to one another and accept each other's opinions on certain issues, and we're not always going to agree with each other, because we are people. Just because we are family and that we have mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, we are all individuals. And we
Right. So what you're saying basically is accept each other for who we are.
Yeah.
And we have our own opinion, no matter what. That's basically makes the world go around. And Michael, what would you like to say?
Nothing.
Well, do you like it when mommies and daddies have playtime with kids?
No.
You don't like playtime? Playing basketball?
No.
What about reading books?
No.
Oh, okay. So you're Mr. No, okay.
What about
you, Lark?
It's so fun when you read books.
Yeah, well, what did you do today with your mommy?
I paint with Mommy, and I scrubbed the chairs, and I put shaving cream on it.
Oh, was that fun, spending time with Mommy?
And I played with my friends, and I found some more shaving cream.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
And there's
pardon
one
me.
more thing.
Could you please straighten that out?
One more thing.
Great.
Thanks.
Oh,
You
no,
know, these are our next generation is the children.
I have one more thing.
Okay,
I
let's
played on a sandbox, a big old sand pile.
That reminds me, one time I played mud pies. This is with my son. It was really fun. Sometimes I think we need to do that, is to come back to reality of sharing time with our children, getting on their level and making mud pies, even if it's 15 minutes out of our own time. Because sometimes it's so rush in our society, sometimes we need to just sit down 15 minutes and hey, let's throw some mud pies and water and have fun.
I meet with Lark every night at bedtime. That's our ritual, and that way we have that bonding. And I'm teaching her something at the same time. I'm teaching her the joy of reading, and I've been doing that ever since she's 6 months old, and now she loves reading. She can go into the library and to the bookstore. That's one of her favorite places to go.
And tell me, Lark, do you like school and interaction when Mom comes to the school?
Yeah,
Really?
because I do a lot of homework. That's fun, and we color, and we play outside, and we play and dress up, and we
Oh, you play dress up? Really?
and
And that's really good as far as us as parents to spend that time with homework. And even if it's like adult children, to ask your child to play makeup and dress up with your adult children and say, let's look in the mirror, let's fix our hair up, and let's exchange jewelry.
I made mud pie.
Oh, okay. Well, Donna, can you tell me about having adult children and how that experience is as far as communication?
Mud pies all in the tub.
Like in doing things together? Well, I think it starts from when you're little, like around their age, that you know, always do things together because that helps out in communication. Like in little Michael right there, you know, he likes to experiment, do things I see.
Yeah, in a time like this is let's have a lot of patience with our children also.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to be really understanding as far as the mind of a child. But right now, we will be right back. We'll hear from our sponsors. Thank you.
Thank you.
God, I want to take off my potatoes.
Plant a tree for your tomorrow.
Good, clean water is something we can't do without. It is the essence of life. That's why conservation buffers in both urban and rural areas are so important. They protect rivers from polluted runoff and help keep the water clean. They're natural for kids and for wildlife. The Arbor Day Foundation is helping people plant trees, stop the pollution of our streams. Across America, people are coming together to plant trees, to create conservation buffers, and to make their town a Tree City, USA. For the good of the earth and for the good in ourselves, plant trees. Support Tree City, USA where you live. Write the National Arbor Day Foundation.
Plant a tree, trees for America. Plant a tree today for all the world to share.
Hi, we're back with the Donna Thorne special and talking about mothers and daughters and mothers and sons because it's a tribute for Mother's Day. I would like to really talk about trust because that is really important in any relationship. If we don't have trust, what do we have? Basically, I feel of trusting in God first, then we can trust other people because our security doesn't lie in someone else's happiness. To be happy within ourselves, therefore we can trust. So, Donna, can you tell me about trust, and is that a big issue?
Well, I think it's an important issue for, you know, trust is very important because it comes with listening and communication. If you don't trust, then you can't listen. Don't you think so? What do you think about that? Trusting comes with listening. If you don't trust, then how can you hear what's being said?
But also trust, as the child gets older, the child, you'll eventually start manipulating that child if you don't have trust, and that child's not going to be able to go out into the world and feeling confident about him or herself. And like you said, communication does play a big part in trust, but when you send your child out into the world, you have to know that they're going to do the right thing.
Right. I wonder what stops trust?
I think fear. I think it's fear of letting go of your child. To say, I did a good job as a parent, now I have to let go of my child and go into the world. Let my child go out into the world, and I gave my child a good foundation.
Oh, you're speaking of like when a child is like just become an adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
But trust. But if you don't have the communication when they're this age, and spend time with them and bond, how is that child going to grow up feeling confident about him or herself and go out in the world and be successful adults. And we have to teach our children to dream, and it's okay to dream.
Right, and I think also trusting ourselves to say, it's okay for me to say, if my child comes to me and asks me a question, and I say, you know what, I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay to let go that the control and the trust that it's okay, I'm still a mommy, even though I have released at this moment that I don't know something. Let's go find out together what this is about. Let's look in a dictionary, let's go research it, let's go to the Bible, the main place. Because putting up a front saying, you know what, you'll know later, or because a lot of our parents, they're taking from the old school what they've learned, and it's like that generational pattern, doing what we only know. And that's basically, it's kind of like maybe it's okay to do something different with the next generation.
Because the older generation is, Donna, I'm pretty sure you grew up with this philosophy: children are to be seen and not heard.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
we're going to really go over that.
It was a lot different. A lot different when I was coming up, when it came to parents.
Right, and we're going to go over that. That's a really big issue when we come back. We'll be right back.
I have one question. It's a really
Thank
good
you.
issue to have parents.
We're reinventing service at the IRS.
Making the changes that make things easier for you.
This is Tom speaking. How can I help you? Internal Revenue Service, Maria speaking. What can I do for you?
We're expanding our hotline service so you can reach an IRS expert 24 hours a day.
7 days a week.
Now enter it on line 7. That's it.
The IRS website is loaded with taxpayer information.
You'll find answers to almost 200 frequently asked questions right here.
On our special problem-solving days, taxpayers can walk into an IRS office and get help on the spot.
Got a question? Come on in.
And for tough, complex problems, there's our problem resolution program.
You'll be assigned your own personal advocate.
The problem I've been having is like you guys are giving me the runaround. I seem to talk to the same person more than once.
No bouncing around. I'll stay with you until your problem is solved.
We want to make it easy for you.
The Internal Revenue Service.
Working to put service first.
Hi, we're back, and we're talking about Mother's Day. And Lark, you made a little comment about parents.
It's a good question to have parents.
Yeah, it's really important to have parents, right, in our lives.
And
I think
homes.
Right, and I think children really want discipline and interaction because they want to trust that my mother and my father, they care about what I do and what I don't do, because to be too free with a child, it's like to have a good balance, to feel free that I love my child, but also to say that I care, but you need discipline, you need to know this is not right, and maybe nowadays to have a curfew is still good.
Just set boundaries and limits and say, if you pass this, there's consequences if you don't follow and do what I say.
Right.
But it's also good to give them say, but they have, like I said, they have to know their limits of how far to go.
Right.
And it's okay for them to have a voice, because they're going to need a voice when they get out in the world.
Right, that's reality of what's going on. There's a consequence if you do something wrong in society. And it's just like having a job and the responsibility of always working. At home, like say the child can pick up their toys and maybe give them 5 cents or something and have them drop it in their penny bank. Is really good issue of just showing them their boundaries at home. And it's kind of hard because you don't come up with a book of instructions, only really the Bible, and some people don't know that. And it's like, what do you do next? And it's okay to get the support of other people and other mothers to reach out.
Because it takes I think today we have lost touch. It used to be a saying, it takes a village to raise a child, and I think we lost touch with that philosophy.
Right.
Because growing up, my aunt used to always tell me, when grandma was at home watching over, the next door neighbor was, and they did something, they would get a spanking from the next door neighbor. Nowadays, you can't do that.
Oh no, okay, just somebody speaking to child.
It's like, and we have, and it shows.
Right.
It shows today that children do not respect adults.
Yeah, and another issue of it takes a village to raise a child, the whole village. Because what if a mother and daughter, and they're having a problem or argument, or the mother, she needs time to relax to herself because of working nowadays and school or whatever it is, and she needs someone to maybe give her a break and take her child for just an hour. But can you really trust that other person with your child and issues of today? We really need each other.
Yeah, we really do, especially, you know, single parents. They really need the support of their families to say, let's go take nephew to the, let's take them for the day so mama can get some rest. And
that brings up an issue of maybe where does she go and talk about the problems and the issues? And it's kind of hard sometimes when the mother, she wants to go to the aunt, she wants to go to the sister, and then there's gossiping, and then the child feels like everyone's ganging up on me. What do I do? And
it's like it's like, and especially when you find yourself by yourself and you can't voice to the child what daddy did not do or what he should be doing, because that would bring up anxiety in that child.
Right.
And
yeah, because there's always two sides.
Yes.
And if they're because basically it's like their self-worth actually lies in that other parent. So if all you're saying is something negative about, say, the father, the father's not there, and you're saying negative things about the father, then that person feels like they're negative to men because they feel like, well, my father was this way, and they subconsciously, they react this way, or they draw to them a negative man.
Yes.
And they don't even realize
we
it.
just have to let go of the Cinderella syndrome as women.
Right.
Also,
that is a really good issue, because getting stuck into how things are supposed to be, we're going to go over that when we come back, because that's something we need to discuss. So stay tuned, please.
When I was working with the space program, I thought nothing could compare with the experience of helping to put a man on the moon. Then, I taught someone how to read as a volunteer tutor with California Literacy. Almost 6 million adults in California don't function effectively because they can't write or speak English.
You want to try?
As a volunteer, you can teach people the skills they need to get ahead and break the cycle of poverty and illiteracy.
Verse is the steel.
Help someone to reach for the stars. Become a tutor. Call California Literacy at 1-800-894-READ for information about their training program, California Literacy. 1-800-894-READ.
Hi, we're back, tuned in to the Donna Thorne special. I'm talking to Stephanie Bedford, and I'm Norma Jean Barros, talking about this
Cinderella syndrome.
Yeah, there we go.
Women need to feel confident within themselves, being women. And being women is knowing your place with God first. God comes first. And we don't have to have a man to always come and rescue us.
Right.
And we can defend for ourselves, and we need to instill that in our daughters. It's not to say that men aren't lower than us or we're better than men. We are, because today's society of how how men treat women nowadays, you can't really depend on a man to always be there, and we need to.
Actually, I think that scares like men off. I think you know, fathers. It's like first, they have a very big responsibility for you and for this child. Then if they feel like you're giving them all this responsibility,
they're going to back off.
Yeah, it's like if you lean on them too much, which we're only supposed to lean on God, because they run. Who wouldn't run? Because you feel like trapped, like, you know, and you don't know what to do. Because it's just like playing house. The little boys, okay, they played with their trucks and everything. And then the girls, she played house and she cooked. And it's like, then how do you know that you find out your role, but how do you know what type of person to get and know their role, and then how do you know and understand their role?
Exactly.
And say, well, hey, I'm not going to expect, I'm going to accept them for who they are.
Yeah, and I think that's hard, especially when you are brought up in dysfunctional homes. That it's kind of hard to find your place. Right. And when you don't know your place and you're going out in the world, you're searching for something that you never got. Right. And you attract people who are searching for the same thing, so you're just attracting more mess into your life and more confusion. And I think people need to heal themselves and stop looking to try to heal the next person.
Right. Yeah, because what happens is we'll get into a relationship and then the baby comes, and then we don't understand that a baby came in between the love of the two people, then it's three. So it's like, let's slow down here and let's see this for what the reality of it is.
And I find that women and adults, both men and women, if they don't have that comfort with themselves, they always look for it in the child. They want to put the child in basketball, football, and it's not what the child wants, but it's what the parent wants. It's what the mom wants, and they need to say, it's okay. I can go out there at 35-year-old if I want to learn how to play football or play tennis. It's okay, me being 35, or to go out on the court and conquer whatever their goals are.
Right. And and that's like, I can honestly understand, because myself having young children, but also being young myself, I can understand my mother a lot better, but yet I can understand a young person's point of view. And so it's something how your mind changes totally from being in your early 20s. You see life differently. You say, you know what, it's not easy to raise kids, and you're like, the patience, you're like, I wonder what my mom went through, okay?
Yeah, I do too. I mean, my mother raised 3 girls, and I'm just pulling my hair out with one. and every day it's different. Yeah. Every day is different. It's like, no, you can't do that. But why?
Yeah, but why?
And then the twos were no. And it's like, okay, so every year, every day is different. And you have to grow with your child. You can't hold them to a certain standard. You have to let them grow as individuals, and again, trust comes into a factor. You have to let them just be who they are and trust that you are doing a good job as a parent.
Yeah, because I think what it is that we're so afraid, and you mentioned fear earlier, we're so afraid that my child is going to think less of me if I say, I don't know what this means. I don't know how to feel that this child, are they really going to turn out good, God? You know, it's like, or if I let them go to school, you look on the news, I mean, like the bombing, everything that's happening.
Are they going to come home at the end of the day?
And to me, if just letting go, releasing, and that healing of, I let this go, I give this to you, God, and I just pray for them, take precaution, and just take it from there, and not be so stressed and worry about day-to-day things.
Yes, and it's like, You know, I think that society has put mothers on a pedestal, parenting on a pedestal, actually. It's like when you put doctors up there on a pedestal, it's like we are people. We are going to make mistakes, and we're only human. And I think that as children, looking up at these people who are, we call them mommy and daddy, from the age of 0 to God knows how long, and it's like we put them as children up, we hold them to a higher standard, and then when we get to that 20, like you said, that 20 mark, we're like, whoa. Okay. And then we get 25, 26, start having babies. Right. And it's like, oh my God, this is what Mama went through. And we have to,
I seen this sign one time, and it said, the hardest job you'll ever love. And I think just bonding and accepting a person, accepting their attitude, accepting who they are no matter what, and just stay in prayer and just know that people can change because time changes, situation changes.
Exactly.
And just, I believe that God puts other people in our lives for reasons, and if we reach out, that it'll come to us. And what we say, I believe, is so important because it draws on who we are and what we are and what type of people are going to come around us. So what I could say is that please tune into another Donna Thorne special, because we'll be talking about more important issues like this, like the next generation, our children. Come here. Come here.